And tayo dito sa problem definition, ano? So on letter C, the problem or part of the problem that in the worker's judgment can most readily yield to help. Ayan. So magbe-base din tayo on the judgment of the worker using yung nabanggit natin kaninang partialization and the prioritization. So letter D, the problem or part of the problem that falls within the action parameters of the helping system. So titingnan nyo natin based on the availability ng mga programs and services, pwede rin natin ma-prioritize kung ano ba yung uunahin natin tugunan na problema. Okay. So ano ba yung mga steps in defining the problem? So number 1, worker must recognize the client's unmet needs. So nitong mga nakaraan so nakita na natin kung paano titingnan yung mga unmet needs. So based on the case of Lina, nakita natin ano ba yung mga unmet needs niya. So what the client lacks that is causing the problem. So number 2, worker must identify the blocks to fulfillment. So ito yung mga nakakahadlang para matugunan yung mga problema. What is it about the client and the client's situation that prevents the client's need being fulfilled? Number 3, worker must determine the strength, the limitation, motivation for change, and resistance to change that are applicable to the client and the systems involved. So ito yung papasok na dito yung capacity or the motivation of the client na para solbahan niya yung kanyang problema. Ayan. So ito na yung sinasabi ko kanina, the partialization and the prioritization. So pag sinabi natin partialization, this refers to the process of separating from so many problems identified by the client and or worker the specific problems or problems which are to become the focus of helping relationship. Sabi nga natin sa daming binanggit na problema. So paano daw baga natin matutugunan yung mga problema ito? So we can use this partialization. So by separating so many problems, and then from that, makikita natin ano ba yung magiging focus ng ating helping relationship. So pag sinabi naman natin prioritization, so nilalagay naman natin dito in order of importance. Ano ba yung kailangan nating mauna? So problem taking precedence over other problem because it's important. So based dun sa mga halimbawa, 5 binanggit na problema ni kliyente, isa-isahin natin, i-prioritize natin. Ano ba yung dapat ay matugunan agad? Okay? So identification is first and consideration at ang prioritization is more on paglalatag ng tugunan based on the problem na present ng client. Ang partialization naman, kumbaga, nandun yung pagsiseparate mo ng iba't ibang problema ni client. And from that, tingnan natin, ano ba yung talagang dapat bigyan ng focus in our helping relationship. Okay, so that's partialization and the prioritization. Okay, so after necessary relevant information pertaining to the client and the problem have been obtained, compiled, this information are organized and synthesized, and the worker prepares a case study report or the social case study report. Ayan. So ito na yung magiging outcome ng inyong assessment. Yung pagsusulat ng social case study report. So usually, iba't iba kasi sa mga agencies yung mga formatting, pero halos nagsesame din naman. So usually sinisimulan sa natin sa identifying information ni client. Yung iba meron pang family composition, and then the presenting problem or the problem definition. Then we have the background information, the community. So iniisa-isa nila. Yung background information about client, yung kanyang pamilya, at yung kanyang community. And then we have the assessment statement. Okay? And recommendations and intervention plans. So sa iba, nauna muna yung intervention plans, and then the last one would be the recommendations. Ayan. So identifying information, so simple lang naman, more on the demographic information, kasama dyan yung pangalan, age, sex, the current employment, household roles, marital status, ayan. So referral information, referral source, so pwede natin maging source of information, the client itself, and The data sources would be the interviews with identified persons, examination and test performed, and other data use. Yan. So sa presenting problem, so ito na yung kung ano yung inilapit na tulong ni kliyente. So kung ano yung nanggaling mismo o ano yung piniperceive ni client. Okay, na problema. It could be sa detailed description, kailangan makita natin ano yung problema, situation, the symptoms, precipitating factors. It could be the current feelings and thoughts of the client, how she cope, and to use the client's word. So usually, pag nagpe-present tayo ng problema, ano talaga yung mismong sinabi ni kliyente. So people involved, manner of involvement, perceptions of the problem. Pwede rin makita dyan yung reaction sa problema, how they have contributed to the problem or solution. So under problem definition din, pwede makita yung mga past experiences. Experiences similar to the current difficulty, manner they were handled and their consequences then. And then other recent problems, it could be stressful life events that have happened in the last year, manner they were managed, and the meaning of this to client. So background history, papasok na dyan yung, sabi ko nga, nabanggit ko kanina yung common, yung the family, the client, and the community. So, inilalahad dito sa background history. Pero ito, pwede rin daw ang content nitong background history could be developmental history, health issues, family background, previous mental health, the marital intimate relationship, cultural background, the education or vocational training, employment history, and the use and abuse of alcohol or drugs by self and family. Yan. So, nandyan din yung current situation. Ayan. Yung current situation ng family and the household, the social network, the guardian information if applicable, the economic situation, so ano ba yung trabaho, ano ba yung pinagkakakitaan, physical environment or housing, so kumusta ba yung environment nila, safe pa doon, kumusta ba yung bahay nila, saan nangyari, so pwede natin siyang describe. Then significant issues, roles or activities, so ano ba yung role na ginagampanan niya, halimbawa sa bahay, sa community, sa school, etc. So number 4, assessment and analysis. So sa assessment and analysis, dito na papasok yung professional judgment ni worker. So ano ba yung pagkakaunawa niya doon sa problema based on the data and information na nakalat. So dito, identify key issue or problem, compare your perspective and client's own perspective of this problem. Describe seriousness of the problem. Describe client functioning effectiveness. Identify contributing factors, the thoughts, behaviors, personality issues, and circumstances that seem to contribute to the problem. Determine where factors reside. So dito rin sa assessment analysis, pwede natin magamit yung the use of strength perspective. So dito na papasok, ano ba yung strength ng client, yung kanyang coping ability, ano ba yung mga resources na meron sa community na pwedeng mamobilize the client. So, pwede rin natin identify yung mga stressors, the obstacles, vulnerabilities, and needs, and assess client's motivation and potential to benefit from intervention. Yeah. So, number 5, we have recommendation, treatment, and intervention plan. So, workers' own perception of the client needs and problem alongside the client's own need and priorities. So, mahalaga dito yung ating self-determination. So, hindi tayo ang magde-decide sa client kung anong intervention, program, services, or treatment yung gagawin natin sa kanila. So, nandyan pa rin yung karapatan ni client na mag-decide on their own or on their selves. Description of problem areas and needs, problem list, rank in priority order. So, strengths, assets, obstacles, and goals usually presented in behaviorally specific language. Okay, so we have note here, improving social work recording and documentation is improving social work. Okay, so usually so dapat as a social worker in the near future, so dapat pa-practice talaga natin yung pagkakaroon ng mga documentation. So ito yung halos lagi nakakalimutan. So dapat lahat ng mga ginagawa natin with the client is naka-document. Okay? Ayan. So sa paggawa ng ating assessment statement, so meron tayong components. Ayan. So kailangan makita daw natin ito doon sa kabuuan ng ating assessment statement or our professional judgment on the case. So una, opening causal statement. So syempre, makikita natin usually yan sa first paragraph. Sa second paragraph, usually makikita naman natin yung change potential statement. And then number 3, usually nasa third paragraph din siya or the last part, yung judgment about the seriousness or urgency of the problem. Ayan. So pag sinabi nating opening causal statement, so dapat dito, una pa lang nababanggit na natin, sino ba yung may problema? Bakit nag-i-exist yung problema? Ano ba yung naging dahilan? So that's the opening causal statement. Okay? Sa change potential naman, so kailangan mabanggit natin dito, ano ba yung capacity na masolusyonan yung problema? Okay? So, tinatawag din sang social functioning statement, itong ating change potential statement. So, papasok nga dito yung paano ba masusolusyonan yung problema, dito papasok yung the problem, the person, and the environment. Okay, so ano ba yung kapasidad na masolusyonan noong client yung kanyang problema? Ano ba yung mga resources papasok din dyan na meron ang client o meron ang system ng client para ma-resolvehan ang problema. And then number 3, the judgment about the seriousness or urgency of the problem. Usually, sinisimulan yung mga statement dito sa pangatlong paragraph na pwedeng sabihin natin, the case of the client is not a matter of death and life. So parang ganun. Or pwede naman natin sabihin kung nakikita natin medyo malala yung case, it is a matter of life and death. Kaya dapat agad na matugunan yung problema ng client. So, ini-state natin gaano kaseryoso yung problema ng client natin. Kapag ba hindi agad siya natugunan, ay pwede bang magdulot pa ito ng other risks and vulnerabilities doon sa kliyente. Okay? Pwedeng sabihin natin, hindi naman masyadong kailangan na agad tugunan, hindi naman masyadong seryoso. Hindi naman ikakamatay ni client kung hindi agad ito ay matutugunan. Pero, kailangan pa rin masolusyonan. So, papasok yung judgment natin. Gaano ba kaseryoso yung problema? At kailangan ba na ito ay agad-agad natin matugunan? Okay, so yan yung nilalaman ng ating assessment statement na bubuo para sa isang buong assessment statement. Okay? So we have characteristics of assessment. So nabanggit ko naman ito kanina, it is ongoing. Tuloy-tuloy nga tayo throughout the entire helping process. Nandyan lagi si assessment, hindi nawawala. It focuses on understanding the client in the situation and providing a base for planning and action. So, sabi nga natin, a good assessment, pwedeng magkaroon ka ng good planning and good intervention. It is a mutual process involving the client and the worker. So, parehas nagtatrabaho on the part of the assessment, the client and worker. There is movement within the assessment process. So, may changes, kumbaga, dun sa assessment process. So as long as may mga bagong data, information na ikaw ay nakakalap, so maaring magkaroon ng movement and changes. So both horizontal and vertical exploration are important. So mahalaga na hindi lang tayo one-sided na si client pangkukunan natin ng information. So that's why meron nga tayo mga collateral interviews at meron pa tayong iba't ibang sources of of information or data. Assessment identifies needs in life situation, define problems and explains their meaning and patterns. And assessment is individualized. So, nandiyan na naman yung principle natin ng individualization. So, we consider the person as a unique person. Okay? So, hindi magkakatulad ang ating kliyente. So, hindi nangangahulugang ito meron akong ganitong naging case dati, sige, same na lang din yung kanyang magiging assessment. So same na lang din yung magiging treatment plan ko sa kanya. Kasi tulad naman sila, parehas naman sila halimbawa, the battered wife, so same na lang din yung gagawin ko para hindi na rin ako mapagod. So hindi. So individualized. So nandun pa rin nakaangkla yung ating the principle of individualization. So judgment is important in assessment because many decisions have to be made. So yun dyan napapasok yung professional judgment natin as a social worker. And no assessment is ever complete. Kaya nga sa continuous, so maaring may mga other information pa na mag-arise o umusbong habang tayo ay papunta doon sa iba't ibang step of the helping process. Okay, so ito ay ilan lang sa mga tips naman in writing a case study. So number 1, follow agency protocols and standards. So depende sa agency yung mga protocols and standards. So sabi ko nga, medyo wala tayong generic na pattern ng paggawa ng mga case study. Paggawa ng mga case study. So depende yung mga formatting sa mga agencies na pupuntahan ninyo. Apply social work, professional writing. So mahalaga, matutunan natin as a social worker, paano ba yung pagsulat ng tama ng social case study. So, very, dapat tayo, tama, yung mga grammars natin, kasi baka mamaya, mali na pala yung description natin doon sa case, so baka mas lalo pang ikapahamak ng kliyente natin. Let's say, for example, kung dadalhin natin yung case study natin sa court, mali yung pagkakasalaysay mo doon sa background or history of the client, yung palang nilagay mo ay ikapapahamak noong iyong kliyente. Kaya very particular dapat tayo on the use of the grammar. Number 4. Number 3, use clear descriptive words, use behavioral terms. And then indicate notes based on your observations. Number 5, employ appropriate tools. And then number 6, collect meaningful and relevant data. So papasok na naman po si principle of parsimony. Cite the source of information, kainin na nang galing yung information mo. So pwedeng gumamit ka sa ng according to her mother, according to kung sino man yung pinagkuhaanan mo. And then, avoid making conclusive assessment. So, wag tayong magkakaroon ng assumption. So, never assume doon sa mga bagay-bagay na kinukuha natin na information. So, baka sabihin nyo sa case study na kaya pala binubugbog ng asawa dahil ganyan. Pero, hindi naman pala totoo yung sinasabi mo. Nagkaroon ka lang ng assumption. And then, organize data in coherent structure. So, dapat maayos din yung pagkakadetalye natin sa pagsulat ng ating case study. And be consistent. So, baka sa unang paragraph, sinasabi mo na ganito, pero contradict doon sa pangalawang paragraph, ano. So, dapat consistent yung mga isinusulat natin. Okay, so that's for assessment. Ano? Next, yung planning. So sa planning, this is the link between assessment and intervention. So, yung magandang plano nakasalalay sa magandang assessment. At yung plano, from that plano, makakagawa tayo ng intervention. So it translates the content of assessment into a goal statement that's describe the desired results. And it's also concerned with identifying the means to reach the goal. So ang pinakang end goal natin sa planning is the plan change. So bakit sa tinawag na plan change? Ano? So since pinaplano natin yung gusto nating mangyaring pagbabago sa client. So that's why tinatawag siyang plan change. Plan change. So ibig sabihin, guided siya ng social worker or the social work values and a body of knowledge. So planning allows the worker with the client's participation to move from problem definition on the problem solution. Okay? So that's why, sabi nga natin, ang helping process is a progressive transaction. So nandyan lagi si client at si worker na nagtutulungan on the process of the helping process. So the two major tasks are involved in planning stage. So number one, goal setting. So dito, nagpo-formulate ka na ng goals that directly relate to the client need or problem. Ano ba yung gustong makamit? Ng client after the helping process? And then the planning intervention, more on pag-identify na ito. Ano ba yung mga specific actions, interventions para ma-achieve mo yung gustong goal na makamit ni client. Sabi nga natin, goals or helping goals give direction to the worker's relationship with his or client. So goals are ends. They are the desired or expected outcomes of an endeavor. In brief, goals are concerned with solutions. Goals may relate not just to the client, but to the other persons or social systems that are involved in the situation. So sabi nga natin sa paggawa ng plano, so meron tayo tinatawag na SMART, it could be specific, measurable, attainable, realistic, and time-bound. So dito may nadagdag pang concrete, kailangan din daw feasible. Ayan. So right after planning, so dyan napapasok yung tinatawag nating helping contract. So kumbaga magkakaroon ka ng kontrata with the client, na pag-aagrihan nyo na ito yung naging plano natin at pagtutulungan natin itong makamit through the different programs and services. So in social work parlance, the helping contract sets the expectation and terms of the commitments and obligation of the client and worker, which are often clearly spelled out. So more on, na yung magiging commitment? Kaya nagkakaroon tayo ng kontrata or the helping contract. Commitment of the worker and the client. A contract with the client is a simplified version of the plan of action, which represents the worker's thinking and is really more for her use. It includes a problem statement, the goals, objectives, a specification of tasks to be carried out by the worker and the client and the time frame required. So kung familiar kayo, so ito ay parang naka-table lang. So nakalahad dyan, ano ba yung kanilang goals, objectives, specific tasks na gagawin, ano yung time frame, sino ang gagawa, ayan. And then, ito ay signed by the client and the worker. This can be written, or verbal agreements, contract. Contracts facilitate evaluation and provides tool for accountability. Ayan. So, pag sinabi natin plans, tinatawag din natin siyang helping plan, an action plan, or intervention plan. So, ito na yung pamaraan natin para ma-achieve natin yung goals o gusto natin makamit with the client. This consists of specific actions or steps to be undertaken in order to reach the goals. Ayan. So sabi nga natin, ito ay pinagtutulungan ng worker and the client. So still there is self-determination. This is arrived at in the same way. One arrives at problem and goal definition by the worker considering not only her own expectations, but also those of the clients and significant others in his environment. Ayan. So under plans, what would be our units of attention? So other systems that are focused of the change activity. So hindi lamang si client, yung magiging focus of attention natin. Ang magiging focus of attention din natin, pwede rin yung mga taong nasa paligid niya, pwede rin yung community niya. So ano ba yung pwedeng maging plano natin or pwedeng maibigay na services, interventions na may direct na nakaka-apekto with the client. So other persons who in addition to the client have to be given attention also because they are involved in the situation and work with them is essential to goal is attainment. So hindi lang nakapokus kay client as well as yung mga taong nasa paligid niya, the environment or the community ay magiging focus din natin ng pagpaplan. Okay? So under plans, meron din tayong tinatawag na different strategies na pwedeng gamitin. So when we say strategy, this is an overall approach to change a situation. So it implies orchestrated action that involves different entities, each having a role to play in order to achieve the defined goals. So there is also a variety of approaches to practice called theories of practice or models of practice. This provide an overall approach to practice and therefore may be considered as a strategy. The social worker can choose one or more of these model and approaches as her helping strategy. So, kapag plano, ay meron tayong iba't ibang model din na pwedeng gamitin. So, madidiscuss natin yon on the later part nitong presentation. So, yung different approaches pagdating sa case work. So, that's for plan. So, after plan or planning, magkakaroon na tayo ng intervention. So, this is action plan implementation, treatment, or other terms for intervention. So, this phase is concerned with the action that would solve the client's problem. So dito nag-execute na tayo ng mga services, mga programs that will help the client in solving his problem. So rendering of all specific and interrelated services appropriate to the given problem situation in light of assessment and planning. Yan. So carrying out the intervention plan. So sabi nga natin, nakapokus tayo on the micro, the meso, and the macro. So hindi lang ang magiging focus natin ay si client. So titingnan din natin yung kanyang pamilya, yung kanyang mga grupong kinabibilangan, at yung buong community. On targeting the interventions. So dito, papasok yung pag-monitor natin ng progress during our intervention. Nagkakaroon ng revision, kaya nga nagkakaroon din tayo ng assessment. Tinitingnan natin, effective ba o hindi yung mga naisip nating interventions or kailangan bang itigil, ituloy, and etc. And then completing the established plan. So in carrying out the intervention plan, it requires application of broad range of as well as special knowledge, skills, and techniques in intervention. And then doing the decided, so ito na yung more on carrying out ng ating napag-agrihan ni client. And rendering all specific and interrelated services appropriate to the client problem situation based on the assessment and planning that have been undertaken. Ayan. So, nasa libro ito ni Talmali, yung interventive roles. So, during intervention or implementation, so meron tayong iba't ibang roles na ginagampanan as a social worker. The social worker's problem-solving efforts will require a variety of interventive roles, which refers to composite activities, tasks that is expected to undertake in order to accomplish the goals agreed upon with the client. So, minsan, nagiging tayong resource provider. So, pag sinabi natin resource provider, so tayong pinakang major role natin dito is yung provision or direct provision of material aid or other concrete resources na maaaring makatulong doon sa problema o pangangailangan ni client. Okay? So that's resource provider. So not necessarily naman pag sinabi natin resource provider ay ito ay ibig sabihin ay dole out o basta binibigay lang. So nandyan pa rin yung pagkakaroon ng assessment, eligibility study, kung ito bang client na ito ay eligible ba na makatanggap ng ganitong concrete resources. Okay, it could be any form of material aid. And social work is always preceded by a careful evaluation of the client need. So nandun pa rin yung assessment niya or what we call eligibility study. Kung talaga ba siyang karapat-dapat na makatanggap ng ganoong uri ng resources or serbisyo. Not limited to money or goods, but other concrete services that are necessary in order to achieve the helping goals of the client. Social broker. So pag sinabi naman natin social broker, so ang pinakang trabaho natin, tayo nagne-negotiate. O nag-link doon sa client sa mga kinakailangan niyang mga serbisyo. So nililink natin sila sa iba't ibang halimbawa, institutions, services na pwedeng makatugon doon sa kanilang problema. Okay? So, as a social broker, nandiyan yung pagiging helper natin, interpreter, facilitator, escort, negotiator. Okay? At as a social broker, kailangan may sapat tayong knowledge about the different community resources na meron sa komunidad para madali nating ma-connect si client to sa different services. Next, mediator. So, nagagamit naman natin ang mediator kapag merong mga conflict. Ayan. Or there is two conflicting parties na kailangang maresolbahan. Ayan. So we act as an intermediary or conciliator between two person or sides. So mediator, ibig sabihin tayong tagapag-gitna. So at hindi tayo dapat magiging bias when we act as a mediator. Kumbaga tayo nandun lang sa pagiging gitna about the issues. So engages in effort that will resolve disputes between the client system and the other parties. So using technique to bring about a convergence of perceived values of both parties to the conflict. Advocate. Ayan. So dito naman, we take the partisan interest in the client and his cause. So you cannot remain neutral. So kumbaga pro-client tayo. Kumbaga pinaglalaban natin yung kung ano yung best interest of the client. Objective is to influence the client interest another party, usually possessing the same power or authority over the client. Okay? So ang mga role ng advocate ay to argue, debate, bargain, negotiate, and manipulate the environment on behalf of the client. Okay? So minsan gumagamit tayo ng direct confrontation, administrative appeal, and the use of judicial and political as appropriate. Counselor or therapist, so ginagamit naman natin ito is more on the restoration, maintenance, and the client capacity to adapt or adjust in his current situation. Yan. So ginagamit natin ang pagiging counselor or therapist para maitama yung mga wrong attitudes or kapag merong low self-esteem yung client natin, limited use of knowledge and lack of understanding. Okay? Okay. So tapusin ko na lang muna kasi ang natitira na lang oras is 1 minute and 40 seconds. So hanggang dito sa ating intervention. So itutuloy natin next week yung sa evaluation. Hanggang sa termination. And madidiscuss na rin siguro natin yung mga models and approaches in social peace work. So may mga tanong ba or clarifications sa ating mga participants?
Sir, kailan po ulit yung next meeting?
Siguro ay Saturday tayo. And iano ko na lang yung time ulit ha. I-chat ko na lang ulit.
Okay po.
Sige, kasi ang klase namin ng masteral ay Sunday. Ayan, kaya tayo? Saturday tayo. Okay? So wala na po bang tanong?
Wala na po.
Okay, so kung wala na po, see you next week for the continuation po ng ating discussion sa case work. Ayan, so thank you very much and yan po.
Thank you po.
Thank you po,
Thank
sir.
you.
Thank you, sir.
Isesend ko din po yung recordings nito para doon sa mga wala. Thank you.
Thank you po.
Po.